She thought she owned everything, the neighborhood, the rules, even my backyard. But when she trespassed with 30 guests and turned my home into her personal resort, she made one mistake she would regret forever. With one button, the gate slammed shut, and her exclusive party instantly transformed into a trap she could not escape. Now listen, I'm not the kind of guy who traps luxury SUVs for fun, but when someone invades my property, charges people to swim in my pool, and then tells me it's shared property, congratulations. You have successfully unlocked the "I've had enough" version of me. Let me explain why this mattered so much. That pool isn't just a pool. I built it from scratch, a therapy pool designed for kids who need warm water to move without pain. I spent months working on it, sacrificing weekends and sleep, pouring every spare dollar into making it welcoming and safe. It wasn't a luxury, it was a sanctuary, a place where kids learned to walk again, a place where parents cried tears of relief. So imagine my mood when Karen, our HOA president with a personality shaped entirely from expired entitlement, walked by one day and said, "This pool seems wasted on you." Wasted. On me, the man who literally pays for it, the man who cleans it, the man who knows the chlorine schedule better than his own birthday. From then on, she started lurking around more often, measuring the fences with her eyes, counting chairs, taking notes like she was planning a heist. She'd toss comments like, "Have you considered letting the community use it?" Or, "Shared spaces build unity." Meanwhile, she's the same person who once yelled at a kid for drawing chalk flowers on the sidewalk. But whatever, I ignored her. Until she stopped pretending to be friendly. One afternoon, she cornered me and said, "We've decided your pool will be part of a new wellness initiative." When I asked who "we" was, she smiled and said, "The community." I said no. She laughed, an evil Disney witch kind of laugh, patted my shoulder like I was an incompetent houseplant, and walked off. That laugh should have been my warning. Instead, I assumed she'd calm down. Spoiler alert, she did not calm down. Fast forward to a night when I got home exhausted, hungry, and prepared to microwave something unhealthy. As I approached my backyard, I heard music. Not just music, fancy event music. The type rich people play while pretending to enjoy being around each other. I opened my gate and froze. My backyard had become a luxury festival. 30 high-end cars were parked everywhere, like someone was hosting a celebrity auction on my lawn. A bartender was serving cocktails from my pool. Expensive snacks floated by on trays shaped like lily pads. Someone lay on a giant inflatable golden swan. A golden swan! And right in the middle of it all stood Karen, wearing a glittery dress, holding a champagne flute, giving a speech like she was hosting the Oscars. "Welcome to our exclusive aquatic wellness experience," she announced. Exclusive? Wellness? Lady, you broke into my house. I walked toward her, but she waved her hand dismissively at me, like I was a waiter she didn't tip. "Oh, you're here. Lovely. Try not to ruin the ambiance." Ruin the ambiance? Ma'am, you are the ambiance. Then I saw it, a sign taped near my fence. Entry, $600 per person. She was selling tickets to my backyard, my pool, my property. I should have called the police, but instead, I did something better. I smiled because I had a secret. Still, I needed confirmation that Karen was, in fact, out of her mind. I asked, "Karen, what is this?" She giggled. "Community wellness, darling. We're revitalizing the neighborhood." I pointed at the sign. "For $600? She shrugged. "Quality wellness isn't cheap." Then, this part, she reached into her purse, pulled out a wrinkled $20 bill, and handed it to me. "Here, for your inconvenience." A 20 for my $8,000 setup? I looked at that bill like it personally offended my family heritage. "Everyone needs to leave," I said. Calm, firm, adult. Carrie smirked. "Actually, No. As HOA president, I authorize shared use of shared amenities. I blinked. This is not shared. She smiled, eyes sparkling with psychotic confidence. Not anymore. Emotional style. That's when I decided something. If stupidity had royalty, she was wearing the crown. What Karen didn't know is that earlier that week, I had upgraded my security system, not for HOA warfare, just because I like cool tech. But tonight, that tech became divine justice. While she bragged to her guests, I slipped behind the pool house and opened my new control panel. Inside was a remote gate-locking system strong enough to trap a small army. It had one beautiful button. I watched the party for a moment, rich people clinking glasses and water that wasn't theirs, Karen rehearsing her future TED Talk about community leadership, and then I pressed the button. Thunk. The gate slammed so hard it sounded like Karma herself clocking in for her shift. Lights flashed, heavy steel bolts locked into place. Music stopped. People froze mid-sip like mannequins. One guy whispered, "Is this part of the event?" Someone else tugged the gate. It didn't budge. Then came the performance of the century. Karen spun around, saw the locked gate, and shrieked, "What is happening? Let us out! This is a community area!" Someone whispered, "Isn't this his house?" Another said, "Wait, did we pay to be here?" I stepped forward, dramatic as ever. "Ladies and gentlemen, please relax. You're simply experiencing our premium upgrade." I paused. "The exit is not included package." People laughed. Karen did not. She rattled the gate like a raccoon trying to break into a trash can. "This is shared property," she screamed. My soul smiled. Phones came out instantly because rich people panic. The internet must witness it. Guests filmed the meltdown. Even neighbors peeked outside. A few brought snacks. Karen ran to me furious. "Open the gate now." "Or what? Are you going to give me another 20? Her face did something I can only describe as Windows error message. She realized her entire scam was exposed. The guests were angry. Angry at her, not me. They demanded refunds. One woman yelled, "This was a luxury spa." She shouted back, "It is!" I pointed at a floating plastic flamingo. "Is it though?" Eventually, everyone left, after I opened the gate, obviously. And boy, did they leave with opinions. The HOA fined her. Neighbors mocked her. Her wellness initiative died instantly. I, however, became a local legend. The gate guy. The man who defeated Karen. The human property line. She still glares at me during HOA meetings, but she stays far, far away from my backyard. And honestly, every time I walk past my gate, I smile, because that metal gate isn't just a gate anymore. It's a monument, a symbol, a reminder that boundaries exist, and I'm not afraid to close them. And the moral of this whole nightmare? Some people only understand the word no when it comes with steel locks and a dramatic sound effect. Stick around. This neighborhood has more chaos than a reality show. And trust me, Karen is just getting started.